Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We are doing the head and neck classes. We have already completed the deep cervical fascia in the neck, and we have completed the divisions of the triangles of the neck, and also in the last class we have covered the muscular triangle. So we will start with the carotid triangle in this class. So those who have not subscribed to the channel, subscribe now so that you will receive the continuation of the head and neck classes, histology and embryology also. In our channel we have introduced the new playlist, Important Anatomy in 50 videos. You just go through the 50 videos, you will be able to cover the 60 to 70% of the university exam questions. So subscribe to the channel and keep watching the videos. Now we will move on to the topic carotid triangle. So we have seen in the last class the side of the neck is divided by the sternocleidomastoid muscle into anterior triangle in the front and posterior triangle in the behind. Anterior triangle has the apex below and base above. Posterior triangle has the apex above and base below. So this picture is the diagrammatic representation of the side of the neck. So the side of the neck is divided by the sternocleidomastoid muscle into anterior triangle in front and posterior triangle behind. Now this anterior triangle is divided into 3.5 triangles by the three muscles: anterior belly of digastric, posterior belly of digastric and superior belly of omohyoid. The triangles are the muscular triangle, carotid triangle, digastric triangle and half submental triangle. So another half submental triangle is shared by the other side of the neck. So this is the revision of the last class, and in the last class we have seen the muscular triangle also. So now we will see in this class about this carotid triangle. So boundaries of the carotid triangle, if you see, this is the carotid triangle. Boundaries of the carotid triangle: in front and above, posterior belly of digastric and stylohyoid muscle. In front and below, superior belly of omohyoid. Behind, anterior border of the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So these are the boundaries of the carotid triangle. So this carotid triangle, so carotid, because it contains the carotid system of arteries mainly, this triangle is called as the carotid triangle. Roof of carotid triangle is formed by the carotid triangle is formed by the platysma, ansa cervicalis and anterior layer of carotid sheath. Floor is formed by the parts of the four muscles. So roof and floor. So floor is formed by the parts of four muscles, which we will see in the next slide. Roof is formed by the platysma, ansa cervicalis and anterior layer of carotid sheath. Floor is formed by the parts of four muscles: thyrohyoid, hyoglossus, inferior constrictor and middle constrictor. So now we will see the picture. So in this you can see the thyrohyoid muscle, hyoglossus muscle, middle constrictor and inferior constrictor. These are the floor muscles, parts of four muscles. So the hyoglossus extends upwards from the greater cornu of the hyoid bone, where it will be overlapped by the mylohyoid muscle. The middle constrictor of pharynx is overlapped at its origin by the hyoglossus and extends fan-wise backward and medially. So you can see it is fan-wise backward and medially from the greater cornu of the hyoid bone. The inferior constrictor of the pharynx will arise from the oblique line of thyroid cartilage. So these are the details of the floor of the carotid triangle. Contents of the carotid triangle. Carotid triangle contains a number of important structures, but mainly the carotid system of arteries. That's why it is called carotid triangle. So first we will see the arteries. Common carotid artery and its two branches, internal and external carotid arteries. So in fact this name of the triangle is derived from the main arterial trunks of the neck. So you can see the common carotid artery, then this is the external carotid artery, and this is the internal carotid artery. The common carotid artery arises on the right side from the brachiocephalic trunk behind the right sternoclavicular joint, but on the left side directly from the arch of aorta. Each common carotid artery extends upwards from the sternoclavicular joint up to the upper border of lamina of thyroid cartilage. So if you draw a line here, it will be upper border of lamina of thyroid cartilage, that will be corresponding to the disc between the C3 and C4 cervical vertebrae. So that is the bifurcation of the common carotid artery. In the carotid triangle, the internal carotid artery, this is the internal carotid artery, is posterolateral, and the external carotid artery is anteromedial. But they are named as, so this is lateral but it is called as internal, this is medial but it is called as external. So they are named as opposite because this external carotid artery is supplying outside the skull and this internal carotid artery is supplying inside the skull. So why this internal carotid artery is posterolateral to the external carotid artery. So you should refresh the aortic arch arteries. What is the development of the external carotid artery and what is the development of the internal carotid artery? Internal carotid artery arises mainly from the dorsal aorta and the external carotid artery arises mainly as a sprout from the third aortic arch. That is the reason of this relationship between the internal and external carotid arteries at the carotid bifurcation. Both internal carotid artery and external carotid arteries ascend side by side, can you see? Then deep to the posterior belly of digastric muscle and stylohyoid muscles they ascend. Then this external carotid artery reaches the parotid gland behind the neck of the mandible and divides into terminal branches. The internal carotid artery passes deep to the parotid gland and enters the base of the skull through the lower opening of the carotid canal. So in the upper part of the neck, the interval between the internal and external carotid arteries will be occupied by a part of parotid gland, styloid process of temporal bone, and also the muscles attached to it. So and also the glossopharyngeal and pharyngeal branch of vagus nerves. If you see, the common carotid artery and the internal carotid arteries do not give any branches in the neck. So it do not give any branches in the neck. So mainly this external carotid artery branches and also the thyrocervical trunk of the subclavian artery supplies main part of the neck. So these are the main arteries in the carotid triangle we have described in detail. Now we will see the branches of external carotid artery in the carotid triangle. 5 branches of external carotid artery is given in the carotid triangle. You can see this: superior thyroid artery, lingual artery, facial artery, and this is the occipital artery. In this it is not given one more branch, ascending pharyngeal artery. So these are the 5 branches of external carotid artery in the carotid triangle. We will see these arteries one by one. Ascending pharyngeal artery is the first branch of the external carotid artery and it arises from the medial side of the external carotid artery. The superior thyroid artery is arising from the anterior part of the external carotid artery, passes downward, forward, and it will be resting on the inferior constrictor muscles. So again, these arteries of this external carotid artery we have to see in the class of external carotid artery in detail. So now we will see only the branches of external carotid artery in the carotid triangle. So this is the superior thyroid artery. Superior thyroid artery runs downwards, resting on the inferior constrictor muscle. So that we have seen. And one more branch is the ascending pharyngeal artery, which is the first branch of external carotid artery. Now we will see the lingual artery passes forward with an upward loop, and it will rest on the inferior constrictor muscle. Then this artery will be disappearing deep to the hyoglossus muscle. Facial artery proceeds upward and forward beneath the posterior belly of digastric and stylohyoid muscles. Occipital artery arises opposite to the origin of facial artery. It passes backward and upward. So these are the five branches of the external carotid artery in the carotid triangle: ascending pharyngeal artery, superior thyroid artery, lingual artery, facial artery, and occipital artery. Veins in the carotid triangle are the internal jugular vein in the carotid sheath. So the tributaries of the internal jugular vein, same you have to remember the names of the arteries: superior thyroid vein, lingual vein, common facial vein, occipital vein, and pharyngeal vein. So 5 branches of external carotid artery, same tributaries we have to remember in the carotid triangle. So these are the, again we have to see the contents of the carotid triangle in this: common carotid artery, external carotid artery, internal carotid artery. So this is the internal jugular vein. So all these structures are inside in the carotid sheath. In the carotid sheath, artery is medial and vein is lateral. Vagus nerve is in between and behind. So and this is the ansa cervicalis, which is present in the roof of the carotid sheath. Other nerves present in this carotid triangle: this is the spinal accessory, and this is the hypoglossal nerve, and this is the vagus nerve. So nerves present in the carotid triangle are a portion of spinal part of accessory nerve, and this spinal part of the accessory nerve will enter deep to the sternocleidomastoid muscle to appear in the posterior triangle. And this loop of hypoglossal nerve, it winds forward around the lower sternomastoid branch of occipital artery, so that it will be this loop will be crossing both the internal and the external carotid arteries. Here the nerve gives 2 branches, that is the descendens hypoglossi and nerve to thyrohyoid. So these are the 2 branches from the loop of hypoglossal nerve. Descendens hypoglossi passes downward in front of carotid sheath. So this descendens hypoglossi carries the fibers of the C1 fibers, and it supplies the superior belly of omohyoid, then forms a loop known as ansa cervicalis, after joining with the descendens cervicalis, which is formed by C2 and C3. Then this nerve to thyrohyoid supplies the only one muscle, thyrohyoid muscle. It also carries the fibers from the C1. Then vagus nerve, it is the main content of the carotid sheath. So it passes downwards within the carotid sheath between the internal jugular vein and the carotid system of arteries medially, and it is slightly posterior between the 2 structures. In the neck, the vagus gives off the following branches: pharyngeal, superior laryngeal, superior and inferior cervical cardiac branches, and also the right recurrent laryngeal nerve. The last nerve which is present in this carotid triangle is the cervical part of the sympathetic trunk. Though it is not a specific content of the carotid triangle, it can be visualized if you retract the carotid sheath laterally. Other structures in the carotid triangle: a part of apex of the parotid gland, and also some deep cervical lymph nodes along the internal jugular vein. They are the jugulo-digastric group and the jugulo-omohyoid group. So this completes the contents of the carotid triangle. So the contents of the carotid triangle which we have seen elaborately. Mainly this arteries, common carotid artery, internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery, branches of external carotid artery. We have also seen the internal jugular vein. The nerves are the spinal accessory nerve, the vagus nerve, and this is the loop of the hypoglossal nerve. And also the branches of the vagus are given in this picture. So this summarizes thus the carotid triangle. Carotid triangle is a part of anterior triangle bounded by posterior belly of digastric and stylohyoid, superior belly of omohyoid and sternocleidomastoid muscle. Roof is mainly by the platysma and anterior layer of carotid sheath. In the anterior layer of carotid sheath, you can see the ansa cervicalis. Floor is formed by the thyroid, hyoglossus, inferior constrictor and middle constrictor muscle. Contents are the contents in the carotid sheath mainly artery is medial, vein is lateral and the vagus nerve in between and behind. And also the branches of 5 branches of external carotid artery are given in the carotid triangle, which we have seen in detail. Other nerves are the loop of hypoglossal nerve, which will be looping both the internal and the external carotid arteries, and also the spinal accessory nerve. So this completes the carotid triangle. With the next topic in the head and neck region, we will see in the next class.